You overstayed your welcome. How could you be so selfish? You can't keep holding on to me. You really need to let go.
I'm here with the phenomenal vocalist, Miss ShanDaria Massey. Miss ShanDaria Massey, can you tell viewers a little bit about yourself, your soft upbringing? Because I'm not sure. Are you from Charlotte or were you okay? So tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
Well, I'm born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I have been a singer since I was an infant, per my mother. I've always wanted to be a singer. I always sang, and I always wanted to actually be a hairstylist. Also, I own and operate a hair salon. But that's, I could say a million things. I don't know specifically.
But that's it. That's why I said you got to point me in the right direction, girl. So, who were your musical idols growing up? Could be rap, could be R&B. And it was somebody that you thought, I want to control the audience just like this person.
At a younger age, I grew up loving Whitney Houston, the Mariah Carey, those are my favorite singers. And then I always loved Mary J. I think she is like the top female entertainer of my time. So I kind of say I'm like the millennial Mary J because I love her. She's classy, but she's hip hop, she's urban, but she's, gorgeous and, all those great things. Of course, her music is very soulful, yet hip hop or R&B, which hip hop R&B is the genre I put myself in. Other than that, I love a little bit of everybody, but I love the singers, Shirley Murdoch, Vesta, Regina Bell, all of that. And then I like Missy Elliot for her creativity. I like a lot of rap music too. I love Jeezy, Lil Wayne is my favorite. I listen to a little bit of everything, and we're even gonna get to the gospel, I listen to it all.
So you definitely have a good ear for music. That's number one. Also, you have a beautiful melodious range. It's very airy. It's light, but it's just very soulful. Now, when did you discover that you could not just like sing on the brush and sound okay, but you could really blow?
I've really been singing since I was a kid. I I mean, my mother has a picture of me sitting on somebody's lap, and my mouth is open. And she said, "Girl, you used to hum these commercials and stuff. You couldn't even talk."
Oh,
And when I was in elementary school, I remember singing for my kindergarten class. I'm like, you have story time, and they sit in a rocking
right.
chair. I'm like, "Can I sing?" For the class. I mean, I've always sang everywhere all the time.
Oh,
That's
you
just
built up your confidence early for sure.
Yeah, and then you sing in church and stuff like that. And then by high school, I was in love with Faith Evans. That was like my favorite singer. So I sang all her songs. It's just always been my thing.
Ain't had no business singing Faith Evans,
At
but
all. No, yep.
now I don't know for sure, but it seemed like, are you a mother?
I am.
Okay, so happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Now, you're welcome. I saw a picture of you with your daughter. I didn't want to assume, so I'm asking first. Again, I'm one that's like opening my big mouth and it be loud and wrong. Okay, so you are a mother, a real estate broker, and a master stylist. So on this personal musical journey, how do you find the balance to pour into everything that God lent you?
I just pray about it and, just ask for guidance because it is a lot. My friends, they get on me all the time because it's like, girl, how do you do all it? Like, why are you,
Right.
but I've always just been one to do a lot of things. I mean, I have. And doing hair for such a while, I was kind of like, I need something else. I need, a different way to make money. And for a moment, I told myself I wanted to get a job, but that's not reality. We've been working for you so long. So, the universe is just pushing me into real estate. A lot of people just randomly started telling me to do that. It's been awesome. I enjoy it. It is, it does fit very well with my personality and,
Right.
my flow for working. So, I try It's still a work in progress. But I try to, set days for this and times for that, that's the
Mhm.
best I can do. But
You're doing what you can do. And then your daughter is going to remember that you were a superstar no matter what. So,
that's it.
now,
That's all.
period. You
Mhm.
sung the national anthem at the Hornets game in 2024. Now, that's a simple song that doesn't allow as much of your vocals as you'd like to show off. Now,
Mhm.
however, you put your twang on it. I caught that. Now,
Yeah.
you never know who's watching in the audience. So you had to deliver. So with that in mind, what impact and what did you want fans to take away from that particular performance?
I wanted them to feel, a good class. I didn't want to do too much, but I want them to know that, I can sing, and I wanted it to feel, passionate. Like I want,
Right,
anything that I sing, I want it to be heartfelt and, I want people to feel it. So,
right. Now you
yeah,
did a good job. I mean, I've seen some people mess it up, and you were not one of those people. Now,
yeah.
you're welcome. You released a few projects and worked with two of the top promote. Do I want to call them promoters? What are they called? Oh my God, brain fart.
Producer.
Producers, yes. Producers in Charlotte, JStylez and K-Figz. Now,
Yeah.
I'm certain their styles are very different. Now, did they give you a pep talk? And in what ways did they pull out that American Idol, this is your last shot, last night at the Apollo talent from you during your recording sessions?
Oh my goodness. Jay Styles is a very, very sweet. Like he is such a nice guy. Um, And he likes to have fun and laugh and but he's really mild. So he does it you need to, he's just like, okay, let's do it again, but he makes me feel really, it's like a nurturing, type of effect. But he always gives good suggestions, and he'll be like, oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't you try this? So gently pulling things out of me or pushing me to do other things. Figs is a ball of energy. And he is definitely a true musician. He plays, for real in church and all of that stuff like that. So it sometimes give me a little bit of choir vibes, like, that ain't not the right note, so but definitely they're both super sweet, really cool, always a good time, really fun, but they definitely make sure that I'm doing it right.
Mhm, mhm. That's really good because your money is being spent wisely, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Now, tell us about your new release, Livin. What is your message for the listeners about the soft life and the reset?
Living. It comes from such a genuine place. But not just about me. I feel like the world in general,
Mm,
really needs this song. It's just so much going on. And sometimes I feel like I sound old because it's like, when I was growing up, it wasn't like this. And but it is a lot going on. It's a lot of negative things, a lot of negative influences. But in whatever anybody is going through, you got to be able to just really sit back and say, you know what, I'm just going to live my life to the fullest. I'm going to give whatever it is, all that I got, and that's just really what it's about. Live it, love it, no regrets, take on whatever you're taking on, just give it all you got. I mean,
period.
that's just
Oh,
really it. Mhm.
I'm living and loving it. I wouldn't have it no other way. I'm living and loving it. I wouldn't have it no other way.
Mhm.
it is hard. This presidency showed us that,
Mm.
especially for Black women. I mean, like,
It's just so much. And it just amazes me how, it's just such a real statement that it all starts at the head. This is the leader of our country.
mhm.
But such a shift in energy when he, comes on it's just a crazy thing. But
And I don't want to say anything that's going to get me locked up.
right, I'm like, anyway, but
All for that now. So, did you write the song Living, and how did you get into the creative space? Because when you feel like you're doing your best work, that's not something that's just gonna, sometimes it comes immediately, but sometimes we have to sit and think, okay, what am I gonna, how do I feel in this moment?
Right. In all honesty, this song, first of all, Figz created this track just from scratch. She was like, you need a bop, you need something, and he just started playing. Okay, so I'm sitting in the studio, and me and one of the members from my group, I was in a group, we're sitting there, and it's, we just started singing like I'm living, I'm living.
Right,
It just kind of came, we had the hook.
right.
We put the hook down and we would listen to it. We went weeks trying to put words to this song. And we just put everything that we did, it was just like, that's stupid. Like, it don't sound right. Darnell is an amazing writer, vocalist, all that. I told Figz, like, look, can you see what she can come up with this? And it was so crazy. Everything that she said was everything that we wanted to say.
Right,
It
right,
was,
right.
it was amazing. So I'm like, this song is meant to be, and it's definitely it's gonna be a big thing because it's just the way that it came together and how the words just fit so well. It's
Right.
an awesome thing. So
Okay. Have I interviewed you before? Because when I researched you, I'm like, I think she was in a group, but I wasn't 1,000,000% sure until you just said that.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
I've done a
so
good
many
few.
talents. But from Charlotte, I just remember a Christmas song a few years ago. But that may not be you. I was just curious.
Fun too. Yeah, we did. I mean, it's very possible. I have to look back and see.
I can't remember.
I know. I don't remember either. I
But
don't
when
even.
I researched you, you were kind of like a blank canvas. So, and that's good in a sense. But if you've been around for a long time, definitely want to go back to your BGOTs, your early stages, just to see how you blowing. Because every year that you sing is a year of maturity, I think, with your vocals, and you don't ever stop learning this craft.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
With TikTok, everything that's going on with that. And I know how you feel about TikTok, so I ain't gonna get on your nerves about that, okay? I know you like, listen, I ain't trying to get no views, but girl, you got the vocals, so if they do happen to do a dance in your honor,
Yeah. I'm here for
dance.
it. My daughter says all the time, like, Mom, you need to do more video singing. Like that's what you need to be doing. And I'm like, all right. I mean, and it's not that I don't necessarily want to. It's just I don't know. It's just difficult
It
because
sounds cliche because it's for a younger. When you see it, it's just like, what? They knew better.
yeah, some people they just grew up in that era, so it's natural.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even at the salon, my client said, girl, you need to be recording all day. Girl, you crazy. Girl, But I'm just like, right. If somebody recorded me, that would be perfect. I gotta try to do better. That's all I can do.
You gotta find your space in it, and it's definitely hard when you're probably not my age, but I'm like, I don't even know how to fit into this. Like, what am I supposed to say? Because if somebody say something stupid on my post, I am going to lose it. I'm not Miss Netta, okay?
Yeah,
Gonna fall out, period.
yeah, some days I'm into it, and some days it's just, I have so many things to do. It's just like I just don't be thinking about
It's
it,
too
honestly.
much. It's work. It's too much work. And it takes the
Yeah,
fun out of your basic stuff that you just want to post. I do say I
very.
can't say that. So now, just like you said, you have a laundry list of your favorites from the 90s, early 2000 artists. Now, if you could pluck the brain of your favorite singer, whether Whitney Houston, Faith Evans, Jasmine Sullivan, Mary J. Blige, any of those, what would you ask and why?
My thing is about performances. I love performing. I love, that's like the best part of singing is connecting with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know exactly what my question would be, but it would be something in the realm of when you perform, how do you or what do you, how do you prepare or how do you, make sure that you have the endurance or how do you sustain, things along that line. It would definitely be about performing because like you say, Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan is a vocal monster. She always sounds great. And how
Mm-hmm.
do you do that? What is it, how would you say this is the key to sounding good live, or I don't know, something about when you perform, giving a good show.
Oh yeah, commanding the stage.
Yeah,
These people are hard.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now you've sung Christmas, R&B, blues, and jazz. You've done many cover songs. Do you feel as though you're using all of your talents when you think about all of the genres that you have tapped into? And what else do you want to do with your music?
I think I could say yes, I'm using all my talents. However, I mean, you always learn and grow. So
Mhm.
I feel like, it's just up for exploring. I don't know what different musicians or producers, what they could bring out, what sound, what vibe they could bring out of me, So I think it's more to come.
Okay. Now, what are the pros and cons to being an independent? Are you independent? Again, I'm loud and wrong sometimes.
I'm independent. Yeah, I'm independent. Mhm.
Now, what are the pros and cons of that?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say the con is, you just don't have the reach
Mhm.
that, major labels and stuff like that have. So, it's definitely more of a hustle, a grind, to try to just get wherever it is that you're trying to go. But being independent, I mean, you have the freedom to just kind of take it how it comes and take it where you want to take it, how you want to take, you're just free to do whatever. Versus maybe if you had a record deal or something, you may be a little more bound to what they require of you under the terms of your agreements or contracts and stuff. So, I mean, that's really all I could say. I mean, I'm independent, but I wouldn't mind.
Some monies,
I'm just saying,
period, to push that machine.
I wouldn't mind that backing, at all.
Okay.
So,
A
yeah.
good contract, not just the money.
The
Now,
good, yeah, some good backing, good support, and good marketing and promote, all the great things that you can gain with a good deal.
that's right. And I'm glad we talked about that, which leads me into this question. What if God gave you means, budget, and Beyonce access with your music? What are the top three things that you would want to do?
Oh, I mean, I would just want to make music. That's all I want to do. I want to sing, record, write music, and just be able to live, off of my music and my craft and share it with the people, tour, travel, I want to do all the things that an artist of her caliber can do. And
Okay. She's stunting on them. You hear me?
yeah. But basically, I would just love to be able to, that is my ultimate goal, to be able to, you know, provide a living for my family and stuff like that, but with music, I want that to be my career.
Now, I don't know if this is a touchy question, just because it's dealing with what's going on locally. Do you think that Charlotte, North Carolina, is booming more for independent artists than ever before?
I don't really know. I think that ultimately, wherever you are, it's about what you do with what you got, how you use your resources and because I mean, for as long as I know, it's always kind of been said that Charlotte was a difficult market, and I mean, I'm just focusing on sharing my music and, I'm working towards that goal of being able to be an artist. So, do I really focus on what Charlotte is, like some
Right.
people think you conquer your local market first. And I'm just like, I don't really know if that's really the thing to do. Not saying that I don't want to, I don't try. I definitely try to participate in all things that I can in Charlotte because I'm Charlotte born and raised. But, I don't really focus on that enough to really say, yeah, this is the best time for an independent artist in Charlotte. I don't know. I think for independent artists anywhere, it's a good time because social media and all that, it's just a different market in general.
Right. It is. It's very different. Um, Now, with this next question, and it's a touchy question, because it gets you thinking. But I want to know, just because you have so much going on, like you're a real estate broker, you are a master stylist, and you're tapping into a love that you want to carry you for the rest of your life. as you should. You know, when you have a God-given talent, you want to do something more with that talent. What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy. Hmm. That is something to think about. I think I'm still figuring it out because in honesty, this is kind of a transition to the last, few years is very transitional for me, with, family and work and, just kind of coming out of marriage and, just kind of, as a woman, you change, you grow, it's just a lot of different things. So I think that my goals, my thoughts on life overall are just kind of being shaped and molded differently at this time. So I think I'm kind of in discovery of what I want my legacy to be. I'm not really, I don't really have a definitive answer for that right now.
No, you answered it perfectly. I mean, who wants to talk about that right now? You still
You know?
getting your,
Yeah.
your journey. This is you just starting, so I get it. Now you have your new song out. Where can viewers follow you and download your music? And do you have albums coming out this year? What's good? Movie
So
score?
So right now I have 3 songs out on all platforms. I got Rid of You.
Mhm.
I did a tweet cover, Smoking Cigarettes, and my Christmas song. And Livin, the new single, your new favorite song, that's coming out on Friday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, March, May 16th, that'll be released. And from there, honestly, I'm just kind of like, let me see how I'm living after living, see how,
Okay.
what the vibes are. Because I have some songs I could drop an EP. I could, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna kind of, like I said, I just pray about it and just be guided, just put all I can into it and see where it takes me, and then I'll make the next play.
I
So.
love it. I like Rid of You. Now, don't get me wrong, because I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, many women can relate, but since we focused on your new release, we're
I
talking.
know, I know, I know. Yeah, a lot of people they love that song. They love when I perform it, because it's a little sassy.
Oh, they're both sad. Both the Jasmine Sullivan song is sassy too.
The Jasmine, what you talking
Who
about the
is not Tweet,
tweet?
not Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah, that's
Tweet.
different. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I like a little, sass. And with living, definitely sassy because I'm living and I'm loving it. And that's just that on that.
right. Period. Well, that's a movie score. Now,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
one that's like a feel-good movie. That's a backdrop to that movie score.
Definitely, definitely. I totally agree. I think it can fit in so many different places,
Mhm.
and like just, so many things. So I'm super excited about the release of that. Mhm.
Congratulations, Queen. It is going to go far because you are a phenomenal singer and you can sing live. We've seen that before.
Thank you. Yes, and it's fun. I love doing the People always ask, "Are you nervous singing the national anthem?" And I'm like, actually, I'm not. I did it last year and I did it this year too. And then I'm gonna do it at the Charlotte Knights game on
Okay.
4th. So it's just fun. It just makes me happy.
Well, congratulations, because that is a hard audience to kind of bedazzle in general when you're singing the national anthem, but you put your twang on it and you reel them in. I get it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
You're
Mhm.
welcome. And you said you're doing it at the Knights game when?
The Charlotte Knights game is going to be June 4th.
June 4th. Okay.
Mhm.
That's in a couple of weeks. Congratulations, Queen. So again, tell our viewers where to download that music and follow you on Instagram or social media.
On social media, yeah. So you can look me up, ShanDaria. I'm on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, any platform, ShanDaria. And I also have a YouTube page, which is the Shandy Show. I have some videos on there, and my living video will definitely be up there as well after Friday. And social media, you can follow me at ShanDaria __, and TikTok, just me, Shandy. And that's pretty much it. Facebook is Shandy, because Facebook is a little old school, it's just my name
For us,
that I put
for
on
me.
there. Shandy Massey. Shandy Massey, that's what everybody knows me from school and everything. But yeah, ShanDaria __ on Instagram. It's just me, Shandy. I'm pretty
And when
much
you looking her up on YouTube, be mindful that there are several ShanDarias on YouTube.
Yeah, that's on YouTube. I am the Shandy Show. That's my page. But ShanDaria, my music will come up under there, which is interesting because YouTube list they play, which I didn't really think about. Some people don't listen to Spotify and stuff like that. They only do YouTube.
Right,
But
right,
it's listed on YouTube just like all of the other platforms as well. So it
right.
would be the ShanDaria. But I do have a page with just some other type of videos, which is the Shandy Show. So
We'll tune in, period, Pooh.
yeah.
So thank you so much, Queen. I enjoyed you and much success, and I can't wait to see the release and the video.
Yes, yes, please. Friday, May 16th, living and loving it.
Okay, download and tapping in.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Queen.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Welcome.